Good evening. This is CTV News for Monday, April 27th. I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us this evening. Well, it was a peaceful funeral for Freddie Gray this afternoon, but meantime, protesters have taken to the streets to express their frustration involving Gray's death. Police are in riot gear at this moment. There have been clashes between police demonstrators, and they say some of the police have actually had stones thrown at them, damaging police vehicles, as well as we hear reports that a news photographer has been injured as well. We will keep you posted as the developments happen. Meantime, back to that funeral, hundreds of mourners packed a Baltimore church to pay their final respects to Freddie Gray, who died a week ago while in police custody. Byron Scott has the story.
His was a little-known name until a deadly encounter with police thrust it into the fore. His name was Freddie Gray.
As the city, as the nation, in fact, as the world looks in, we're ever mindful of the reason that we are here.
Of the hundreds of mourners who packed New Shiloh Baptist Church for the funeral, many never met the young man.
I just came to pay my respect. Basically just came to pay my respect because it wasn't fair what happened.
We just here to support, man. We're just here to support. We're a group of riders. Everybody coming from different backgrounds, just coming to support and escort the funeral.
The eyes of this country are all on us because they want to see whether we got the stuff to make this right.
They came to say a final goodbye and to hear words of comfort and affirmation.
Let's don't kid ourselves. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for video cameras.
Gray was arrested on April 12th. Investigators have not said why or how he suffered a severed spine while in police custody. They did say Gray should have received medical attention much earlier and that he should have been seatbelted in the police wagon to avoid being tossed around.
And we're calling for the police, the 6 of them who are at least being partially, if not totally implicated, to come forward and tell it all, just like you tell our citizens to do.
Congressman Elijah Cummings, John Sarbanes, Reverend Jesse Jackson, Baltimore Mayor Stephanie Rollins-Blake, and former Congressman Kwesi Mfume were among the mourners.
It said Freddie joined the Rural Light Missionary Baptist Church in 2001, where he joined the youth choir and was a junior usher.
Gray's death and the many unanswered questions are a raw reminder, some say, that black lives don't matter to law enforcement.
He was doing his thing, trying to go back to school, get a job. I don't know how all this happened, but it was just it was shocking for me.
This is where it all started 2 weeks ago when Freddie Gray was arrested. And this is where a large demonstration will take place this Saturday, a day after the police department released its findings into Gray's death. In West Baltimore, Byron Scott, CTV News.
Meantime, Baltimore police say they have received a credible threat that members of various gangs have teamed up to take out law enforcement. Now, because of this violence that is taking place in some areas of the downtown Baltimore area, the University of Maryland Baltimore campus, as well as many other businesses in the area, closed early this afternoon amid warnings from police. And police are asking people to stay away from those areas directly around Lexington Market and the region around that. Well, an industrial accident leaves one man dead. It happened about 10 this morning. Rescue crews were called to a rock quarry in the 5400 block of Kirby Road in Clinton. When they arrived, they found a man trapped between a conveyor belt. He was pronounced dead at the scene.
Preliminarily, the investigation reveals that he was somehow entangled on the conveyor belt of the machine that he was operating and succumbed to his injuries.
The incident is still under investigation. A 70-year-old man is found burnt to death at a Bowie golf course about 5 a.m. Sunday morning. An employee at Enterprise Golf Course spotted a fire and notified authorities. When firefighters put out the blaze, they found that Frank Barty had suffered from severe burns. He was pronounced dead at the scene.
Preliminary investigation reveals that the elderly gentleman drove his vehicle onto the golf course. The vehicle became stuck in a muddy area. In his attempts to free the vehicle, some mechanical portion of the vehicle became overheated, possibly causing the vehicle to catch fire. And unfortunately, he was overtaken by the fire. No signs of foul play. It does not appear to be a suicide. At this point, early in the investigation, it just appears to be a tragic accident.
Detectives are still investigating that incident. Well, emergency crews extinguished a small electrical fire this morning at the University of Maryland's main library of the College Park campus. Students and faculty were forced to evacuate after smoke alarms went off about 9:30 a.m. The fire was located inside of an electrical room in the basement of McKeldin Library. Officials shut off power during the incident. No injuries were reported. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.